In this video, we are going to see how we can apply the multiple ifs function in a single formula. And again, we are going to see it in a simple example of grading system. So if the percentage of the student is below 40%, he is fail. But if it is 40 to 50%, it should be D grade. And if it is between 51 to 60%, let's say it B. And similarly, we want to define that. So on our right, I just write the grading system for you quickly, just to make it clear what we are trying to make. So this is the grading system that we have defined, which says that if any student obtains less than 40%, then he is fail. But if they obtain between 40 to 49%, they get D. 50 to 59% will get C grade. 60 to 69% will get B. 70 to 79% will get A, and 80% or above will get A+. First of all, we need to adjust this status criteria as well, because here we just defined that if a percentage of student is less than 50%, then he is fail. But according to the new grading system, only less than 40% will get fail. Otherwise, most of them will be passed. So let's reduce some marks here as well. Let's make this 50. Let's make this 30. Or in fact, what we can do is just change the rand between numbers. So we set the lower limit to 25 and the upper limit should be 90. Let's see if some people fail or not. Okay, let's make this 20 and 85, or let's make it 70 and 20, because I just want to ensure that a couple of students fail so that we can filter out their results as well, and we can define how many students. So basically what I want is a couple of students to fail. Why? Because then we can count, use the count formula to understand how many of them failed, how many of them passed. So just select this all, and I can simply just go to the corner and just hold it from the right click and just go back again, copy here as values only. So now the rand between formula is removed and we have all the values fixed. Now let's try to work on the grading system. But the problem is we need to define these multiple conditions within a single formula. And the base of this is exactly the same that we have done earlier, that is defining a simple if logic. So we will start off with this equals to if the student obtain percentage which is less than 40%, then we will use comma, then he is fail, otherwise he is not just pass. Otherwise, I will ask them to check that again, that if the person has obtained the percentage which is less than 50%, so less than 50% is obviously 49. So if that's the case, then D should be defined in inverted commas because it is a text. So I just asked the system that if it is less than 40%, then he's fail. Otherwise, check again that if this is less than 50%, then it should be D. Otherwise, check that again, that if the percentage is less than 60%, if that's the case, then he should get what? Less than 60 is 59, C. Otherwise, check again if the percentage of the student is less than 70%. If that's the case, then it will be what? It will be B grade. Otherwise, check again if the percentage is less than 80%, then you will get A grade, otherwise A+. So why I have just defined otherwise as A+ finally? Because in the below percentages, below 80%, we have already defined different levels. So above that goes in otherwise condition. Simply if we read it in an English sentence, we are just asking Excel to check if the percentage of the student is less than 40%, then he should get fail. Otherwise, just check again if it is less than 50%, then D. If it's not less than 50%, then check again if it is less than 60%. If that's the case, then he will get C. Otherwise, check again if it is less than 70%, then B. Otherwise, check again if this is less than 80%, then it's A. Otherwise, it should be above. So on all the above percentage, they should get what? 80% or above will get A+. So after that, we should just check how many brackets we have opened. So we have this one is open but not closed, second, third, fourth, and fifth. 5 brackets are open but not closed. So we have to close it at the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hit enter. As you can see, now it's reading. But even if we don't put all of these brackets, as we hit enter, it will suggest you that we found a typo in your formula and tried to correct it to this thing. And we think that you should close all the brackets at the end. It has smartly done this and just asking for your confirmation. Do you want to accept this correction? I'll say yes. And it should automatically close all the brackets at the end. Just double click to send it down and see how this system works. So this student has obtained what? 55%. So 50 to 59% is C grade. Perfect. 46%. 46% falls in this area, D, and B. 62%. So 62% falls in this area. So they will get B, and above will get A plus. So let's increase some marks, 74, and let's say 85, and let's 95, and even let's increase the marks here as well, 78. So now it's A plus. Let's copy the same in any other ones to make sure they also get this. So these are the grades. I'm just trying to manually change in some because most of these students are only getting D grades. So you can manually correct that if you want to. Okay, so I have made some corrections and now we have every type of grade, and that's how we apply the multiple logics or continuous if then statements in a single formula, and that is also called looping. So just try this by yourself and I'll see you in the next one.